My mortal enemy has won. Inspiration is gone. Now no one will ever get to see all those beautiful stories I would have created. It's all over.
Why are you being so dramatic?
I don't know.
Writer's block is a big problem. Here's how to overcome it. Grab your favorite hot drink and let's get started. Symptoms of writer's block. Fatigue. You can't think of anything new. You're on that scene, you keep replaying it over and over, but you're not able to add new details. Your creativity is drained. Okay, sometimes your mental energy is just not working with you. What do you find relaxing? Do that. Do you want to read a book? But make sure whatever you do to relax has nothing to do with your story. Sometimes when I'm stuck, I look back at previous writing, books, whatever. If you're always thinking about it, it's just gonna keep draining your energy. It's not going to be relaxing like you hoped. Drink water. I know this is so simple, but seriously, if you are dehydrated, your brain is not gonna function the way you need it to. If it's all scrunched up, that makes creativity a lot harder too. So drink some water and get outside. Get to a different location than you normally write at. Because sometimes we associate what we're having trouble with the actual space we're in. Sometimes invisible mental barriers get built up that we don't realize happen. And they're not there all the time, but that might be the case for you this time. Make sure it's a relaxing one, or one that'll help stimulate your mind in the direction you're hoping to go. If it's a nature scene, go out into nature and use your senses to tell you how you feel, and then use those feelings to articulate how the character feels. Basically, it's giving you extra boost. If you're having trouble thinking of details for a city, go out into the city that matches somewhat what you're looking for. Think about the details there instead of having to come up with them constantly, because it's hard. Talk about it. There are a lot of authors out there who have wonderful stories, but they're not confident in them. They keep them to themselves, which can be damaging when you need help. Hey, this is what I'm working on. I'm really having trouble with writing this scene. What do you think about this? Try to simplify it, because the mind of a writer, there are a million things going through your head, and if you start trying to make a bunch of context, you're gonna get so lost in the details you're trying to get to the point of explaining that you're gonna lose them.
Unless I've been with you from the beginning and already know the context.
Skip the names, just keep very, very basic. Make it super simple. Also, that can help you as you think, because talking about it forces you to verbalize those thoughts in your head that you're Wow. Did I really just talk about verbalizing and then couldn't?
Okay.
When you talk about it, it's easier to verbalize thoughts than to write them, and vice versa. But when it comes to all those ideas that are mental blocks and, oh, you didn't think that you could take the story in this direction because of XYZ, because this one scene has been here so long that you thought it was monumental and you couldn't change it, all those things don't really exist when you're talking about them. Rather, your mind doesn't perceive them as barriers as easily, because you're just having a chill conversation with your best bud, like you've done 1,000 times. And it helps that tension that you've built up subconsciously, it bypasses it, and you can relax and be freer to think. Music is relaxing, that's true. But beyond that, it's another way of letting your creativity go with your own imagination, and it gets all tight like a muscle. Allow other creativity that isn't generated from you or relating to your work come by and be like, hey, I'm this happy little song. Remember how much you loved me? again, is a way of breaking down mental barriers. It's not just relaxing, it's an active massage on your own creativity. This also applies to movies. Movies, other creativity that doesn't have to do with you, that you can relax in. Your subconscious is still working on the problem. So if you're thinking of ideas and you're like, ooh, I gotta write it down, well, maybe you should write it down, but maybe you can let it rest. Chances are you'll remember later. I had to learn this. I would be lying down, about to sleep, and creativity would hit. I'd stay up and write it down. That can be a good resource, but it also can be unhealthy. If you let your creativity go off on a whim whenever it feels like it, you're going to be exhausted by the inconsistent timing. It's going to make it even harder to use creativity when you want to. Sleeping. Sleeping is good for your brain. Your brain gets cleaned up. You get all those thoughts that you weren't able to process, and you're able to absorb information. When you take that time to sleep properly, it will give you more longevity because it gives you back that stamina that you lost. If you decide to do your creative projects at a time that it will interfere and cut into your sleep schedule, that's going to only hinder you in the end. If you're not able to get enough sleep for other reasons, try not to be too frustrated with yourself if you're having trouble being creative. Taking that time to both sleep and not be frustrated with yourself will help you. Frustration, anger. You can redirect that energy into exercising. Exercising, getting that blood pumping and muscles moving. Those endorphins that are going to help raise your mood help with thinking, with creativity. Take that frustration or any angstiness, use it to your advantage by exercising. When you write an idea down, remember, you're not being judged. You are free to write your heart out. That takes a weight off your shoulders. It doesn't matter if it's well written or not. What matters is that you're practicing. It takes years to hone skills into fully functioning abilities that you can use whenever you want. Remember what inspired you in the first place. That movie you saw that you thought was so cool that you wanted to make something like it. That book, that song, that piece of artwork that just blew you away. Remembering what inspired you helps bring you back to a time before all these anxieties and these mental barriers were in place and you were just a little human with beautiful creativity, with crazy ideas, and only the inspiration to go out there and use it. If you're not excited about writing, follow the other steps and get yourself back into gear, because that is what writing is for. Get out there, be inspiring. But remember, inspiration is not everything, because most of the time, it's not there. It happens once in a while, and that is awesome. Take advantage of it. But most of writing is perseverance. If you want to get better at writing, if you want to get past your writer's block, then you have to work for it. And hopefully these steps I've shown you will help you overcome your writer's block. This isn't a magic recipe. It's not a
one size fit all, this is gonna fix your problems.
Oftentimes, the problem is in your head and it needs to get out of your head. Massaging those muscles so that they can heal up, get stronger, and that you can make writing stories happen. Get out there and get writing.